Hello, everybody, and welcome to this main stage episode of Giant Health 2020. I'm your host. My name is Barry Schreier, and of course, I'm the founder of Giant Health. We are a global community of nearly 200,000 people, everybody whose business is healthcare, technology, innovation. I'm extremely proud to introduce you to Simon Hooper from ReMeLife. Hello, Simon. How are you today?
Good, thanks, Barry. Very good.
Good to see you, and we really appreciate you coming on board. We know you have an extremely exciting story, and I'm very glad to have you here to share your story with us. For the benefit of our audience, we have, like I said, people from quite literally around the world who are dialing in. This is everybody who's passionate about healthcare and technology and innovation, and they all share the vision of Giant Health, which is to improve the health and the well-being of people around the world by promoting innovation and accelerating the adoption of new technology in healthcare. So this is why we're here, and we're very proud to introduce you, Simon, and to have you tell your story about the successful accomplishments that you have been developing recently and any big announcements that you have. So to begin with, Simon, help us to understand, what are some big challenges in healthcare? What are we trying to tackle these days?
Oh God, there's so many. I think it's so often the case that one starts from a personal point of view. And so I'm personally, and my team are tackling those challenges that have brought us to healthcare. My background is I'm a technologist from the world of the oil industry, believe it or not, but I experienced my mother's care for 15 years and witnessed, she was paralyzed bedbound, I witnessed the lack of person-centered care. It was always espoused by whichever organization she encountered, but I realized very quickly that technology could really impact and improve person-centered care. And of course, when it comes to today's challenges, of course, courtesy of COVID, person-centered care has sort of moved to the top of the table.
Absolutely.
Previously, it was a bit more lower down the league table, but now loneliness, isolation have taken it right to the top. So yes, we're addressing the challenges that we've been addressing for years by bringing new technology to bear on person-centered care, but now it's in the framework of COVID.
Excellent. Yeah, thank you for that helpful introduction. So we're talking about personalized care, and we're talking about issues like, for example, loneliness and this type of thing. What are examples of that out there in the world, and what are you guys doing to address this?
Well, loneliness comes in many shapes and forms and can occur anywhere. I think we all know we can be in a crowd and be lonely. So from our point of view, ReMeLife is a system that has value and benefit to almost anyone in the care sector, from diagnosis to end of life. You can be lonely, locked down, isolated at home, or you can be lonely in a care home, which is full of people.
Yes.
So, what we seek to do is to identify new technologies that can address, well, to put it simply, all those elements of my mother's care that were lacking, basically, loneliness being a key one. But for us, technology provides the means to capture data. It's that old nutshell, data, data, data. So
yeah.
we deliver digital activities. Activities are at the heart of all human engagement, really. And those activities in background, we capture data and we feed that data back in. So the activities become more and more bespoke, enabling the carer to better know the person. And that knowledge becomes more and more important, of course, as cognitive decline takes place over the years.
Sure.
Carers need to know what will engage the person. So the heart of what we're doing is, well, we're activity-based software. We're a new genre, a term that we've created, activity-based software. And we capture a data set that we call electronic life records, ELR, again, which is a new term, and indeed it's permeated the industry now. ELR is a data set that sits alongside EMR and EPR. But for anyone using our system, it's just a means to have fun, to engage. And that's the name of the game, having fun and using fun and engagement with others around you, care circle, community, friends, family, using those engagements and activities to improve quality of life and improve care and improve the lot of the carer as well as care businesses, of course.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Well, it's such a good story, and we're very keen to learn more about it. So glad that you're here, and thank you for sharing. Are you guys launching something new? Do you have an announcement to make here at the Giant Health event?
I think, Barry, you know, I'm an unashamed fan of Giant, because Giant is one of the few events that's forward-looking as opposed to a sort of an unashamed shopping mall of products that you can buy today. It's a visionary event, and every year we've explored the new technology that we want to adopt into our system at Giant. And,
yes.
In the past, we've explored, as you know, adopting Alexa and we now use Alexa as one of our means of achieving remote medication, remote care monitoring, and so forth.
Brilliant.
We launched that, sponsored by Amazon, as you know, that giant. This year, we're launching what has been, I guess, about a 1.5, 2-year journey, which is a means to bring rewards to care. We believe firmly that why should the world of shopping in retail stores or air miles, for example, the retail world be the only world that is rewarded? Why shouldn't care be rewarded? Because carers, quite frankly, they're unsung heroes. They're unsung and under rewarded. I used to reward my mother's carers whenever they did a particularly good job, to be honest, by buying them a bottle of wine or worse. And that's not really the ideal way to do things. So we spent a year working out a way to reward anyone for care engagement. So my son is now rewarded for engaging with my mother-in-law. He used to be rewarded with pocket money. Now he gets rewarded with tokens that he knows he can convert eventually into something of use. She gets rewarded by telling Alexa that she's taken a medication with tokens. So why not reward? And that's what we try to do. And it's very hard to do in a world that's vulnerable and needs to be secure without the use of a trust model. And this is why we've adopted blockchain as the underlying technology.
Right.
Invisible to the user and the consumer, it's just rewards, but it's blockchain that enables us to be transparent and valid in how we operate.
Superb. Excellent. No, it's an extraordinary framework. So I understand the awards proposition. Naturally, we all love to be rewarded, and we all work towards receiving incentives, don't we? But help me to understand that in more detail, please. If you could share with our listeners who are, like I said earlier, quite literally dialing in from around the world. A lot of them might not be that familiar with these rewards programs. They might not necessarily understand too much about how care works and who needs to benefit from a rewards program. Could you give us a little more detail, please? And any case studies?
Well, the rewards model is something that sits alongside the principal proposition of ReMeLife, which is that we provide functionality that supports all those that need to improve their care, whether it's my son, whether it's a carer or a care home. And we provide a suite of modules that assist in that, from activities. We provide a new activity every day. I think today's National Shoe Day. There's an activity about shoes. We provide a means to do what we're doing now. For example, I think we're probably on Zoom, but Zoom is not really the ideal mechanism because they're harvesting your data. You're not gaining anything from this. But you do need to do it. So we have our own proprietary communication video tool and many other tools, including a marketplace. But it occurred to us a year ago that at the moment, and I think it's true to say that COVID has kind of masked this reality as we all focus on the complications and problems of COVID. COVID has masked the reality that the tech giants are gaining hugely, massively from what is going on now, making a lot of money. And quite frankly, the money they're making is from such things now as data harvesting, as we are literally doing now. And from that retail margin. I mean, we all know that Amazon's profits have gone through the roof. In our view, those margins, those financial outcomes from increased digital engagement shouldn't just be winging their way across the Atlantic to Silicon Valley. They should be going where they're needed. They should be going to the individual being cared for, the carer who's under pressure and stress, to the family members who are stressed, and indeed to care associations who valiantly seek to support communities of Parkinson's, which we work very closely with. And it just doesn't. So we found a way to capture the value of the data, enable our members to manage that data and monetize it to their benefit. And also to capture a component of the retail margin in a product purchase and have that come to them as well. So everybody benefits. The aim is for it to be a win-win-win for everyone. Apart from Silicon Valley.
Yes, exactly. And so this idea of capturing the data is obviously quite clear. Thanks for that. But the idea of monetizing it, is this about transactions? Or help us to understand, once again, can you give us an example? Who would be an end user of the ReMeLife service? Who else is participating in that little, what do you call it, transaction or ecosystem?
Well, we launch at Giant the fact that we're launching.
Brilliant.
The total ecosystem is not live. It'll be going live in stages over the following months.
Yep.
We want to gather early users because that's the way you find out what you're doing right.
Excellent.
And what you're doing wrong, probably in
Yes.
the other order, to be honest. But what we're launching, you'll see, is a digital game, a fun game,
Okay.
because that's what we're all about. I mean, our internal mantra that I probably shouldn't put out over the airwaves is health by stealth.
Okay.
And what that means is you have fun, you engage, you play games, you undertake activities, but behind that, because of the knowledge that's accruing about you,
Yes.
we're able to do a better job. Carers become more engaged.
Yes.
My mother, for example, she hated the visits of the domiciliary carers because all they did every day was discuss the weather. But once they got to know her through, defining her profile on a tablet, they started taking her around to their homes for dinner. I mean, it was fabulous.
Oh, okay.
I mean, she was literally off her meds and on the gym, which in my view is a win-win. So,
of course.
so that knowledge of the person is critical. But the point is, as I said, how do you reward people for that? So what we do is any game you play, any activity you undertake, any care process that you digitally undertake, you get tokens for. And so the tokens are for anybody. They're for the person cared for, they're for the kids, for the family members. They accrue in your wallet. And then you can use them to purchase the products that are suppliers of, well, anything basically, digital hardware. Here's our ideal. My son's local school has enrolled in the proposition to be able to have their kids, including my son, create digital activities using our platform and deliver them to the local care homes over our system. The kids get rewarded in tokens, the school is community engaged, the care homes feel included.
Exactly.
Everybody wins. So to answer your question, it's really for everyone. And it's all about fun with a robust architecture underneath that achieves all of it.
Fabulous. Simon, it's such a good story. I really, really love to hear more about what you guys are developing, and we're very proud to have the opportunity to feature what you guys have been putting together. What's the phrase? Overnight success comes after many hours and days and years of very hard work. But this is so interesting. Can we look at the token theme a little bit? Let's assume that there might be some of our audience who, like I said, are quite literally dialing in from around the world, who don't necessarily have a strong understanding or background in blockchain or in crypto, or do not necessarily have a pile of tokens in one of their wallets sitting in a leather pouch on their desk right now. So explain to us what are tokens, where are they coming from, why would I want to have a pile of tokens? I know you've already said this, but can we rephrase it just to give it more clarity, please?
Sure. I mean, I'll start by saying that the ReMeLife member will not need or even come across the term blockchain or crypto or any of that.
Okay.
It's like saying, do you know about ERP? Well, underneath any business is enterprise resource planning software, but nobody really pays attention to it. Blockchain will sink into the background. But it becomes an enabler for lots of things that just couldn't be done before.
Perfect.
But alongside blockchain, of course, as we all know, sitting on top of blockchain is the world of cryptocurrency.
Right.
And the cryptocurrency, which we all know about, Bitcoin and Ethereum's Ether, runs on blockchain, and it's blockchain that enables them to effectively cut out the middleman, cut out the banks, cut out all the cost elements, and democratize the world we live in. Because if you cut out those, the city or the world of the credit card, then you're kind of democratizing things.
Absolutely.
So blockchain enables that. But the way to think of a token is really to think of air miles, or if you go shopping in your retail store, they'll give you a reward. It's just a reward. And it's managed on the blockchain. And again, blockchain makes it completely uncorruptible. It's open for inspection. You cannot do anything dodgy with the tokens, and that's where the trust comes in. And if you're dealing with a community in healthcare and you're involving them and wanting to inspire them, you've got to have a trust model.
Of course.
And so we have a trust model and a sharing model. So we share the profits that come into us. So as we monetize the data for the member, as we do what we're not doing now, but would be doing on ReMeMeets, the value of that is shared back to the members in terms of an ever-growing number of tokens in your wallet. Now, that's no different from in your Air Miles wallet. But of course,
I understand.
Your PayPal wallet, it's the same thing. And I think we all know that last week, PayPal adopted cryptocurrency. You can now pay in Bitcoin through PayPal. You may or may not know. So it's now becoming endemic, if that's the right word. But to
Sure.
answer your question, so that's use case number one, if you like. The token can be used for rewards, to reward a carer or a grandson for undertaking a care activity. And then that token can be used to participate in a retail purchase. But the other side of this that's really important to us is we want our members to participate in the growth of the business. We don't think it's right that an entity like Uber, for example, what made Uber great? Uber was made great by, I have no idea how many, but it's probably millions now, certainly 500,000 Uber drivers.
Yes.
Did they benefit from being Uber drivers? Did they get a chance to profit share in the growth of it? No, they didn't. They should.
No.
And I think so many businesses miss out on the opportunity to be inclusive with our participants. So our, again, key ethos is that our members will benefit, will participate in being part of the community. And so that's a second use of the token. They can participate, they can purchase tokens if they want to, and participate in the growth. So Bitcoin has gone up hugely, as we all know, in value.
Exactly.
Massively.
Yes.
So we believe that our token will, when it's listed on an exchange, will also go up in value. So if a person wants to, they can participate in the business and you know, share in the excitement that we see coming over the next year.
Superb. Absolutely superb. So you're number one, you're facilitating the ability to provide care by way of incentivizing people with rewards. And the reward program sits on top of a platform, if you will, which is a token structure. And yet the people don't really have to have an understanding of blockchain or crypto or token management. Like you said, it can be as simple as how someone might currently be collecting air miles and managing and making use of their air miles. And this is all happening in the broader ecosystem of care and the provision of care. And so how do people discover your business? What are you guys doing? Do you have an engagement program? How am I going to learn about what you're offering and this type of thing?
Well, the interest has been incredibly broad.
Nice.
And surprisingly so, as you say, overnight success. Think of a care association. How does a care association generate the money they need? Well, they ask for charitable donations. So a care association might have 500,000 members. They would love to find a way to be able to monetize to their benefit their membership.
Yes.
They wouldn't monetize it unless it was done in a way that benefited the membership. So of course, our system can enable them to benefit the membership but benefit themselves, because anyone who becomes a ReMeLife member will automatically sign up their care circle, their family members.
Oh, okay.
And then by doing that, they get tokens. If their family members then sign up anyone, because they will do, they'll have friends and neighbors who they want to be part of community engagement, because the heart of what we're trying to do is to increase the community engagement, the care circle engagement, the regularity of connection between those members in the care circle. Now in Facebook, that happens just through dopamine and peer approbation and all those elements that we know about. But we want to take the next step, where you get what you get when you walk into a retail store and buy a product. You get an actual token reward. So you know, the beginning point, of course, is the fun of engagement. My son engages with my mother-in-law now, not because of tokens or the pocket money he used to get, but because our system has identified commonality of interest. It's found they both love cats.
With the mother-in-law?
My son now provides videos through our system to my mother-in-law of cats and all sorts of things. And he's getting the pleasure of her feedback in the joy she gets from what he presents. But at the same time, he also gets rewards. And of course, she gives her tokens to him because she loves him. So, you know, the starting point is the care engagement, the human principles of the joy of human interaction when you find a commonality of topic to discuss. Exactly. But the byproduct is just like when you go in a retail store, you go in to buy the spaghetti, you don't go in to get the tokens or the discounts, you happen to get them. But then when you go in the next time and you find you have got enough discount to get that spaghetti half price, it's pleasing. So I don't want the world to think that we are all about tokens and all about money. We're not. We're all about capitalizing on the joy of human engagement that can improve quality of life and well-being. But at the same time, instead of those processes harvesting data for Silicon Valley and a substantial retail margin for Amazon, shall we say, we want that to pass through to our members.
Excellent. Fabulous. No, it's a very, very impressive model, and we're very excited to be involved in doing whatever we can to promote and to champion it. So talk to us about the application of the token program. So I can collect tokens by introducing you to people in my community. I can collect tokens by providing some type of care or getting involved in this type of engagement with people. And then I have my tokens, and let's say over the next few years, will there be a marketplace? Do I have to sign up and phone a broker to sell my tokens on an exchange? Or what else can I do? Again, just asking you to elaborate a little bit on some detail here, please, Simon.
Well, you can go as deep as you want on this. I mean, for example, Rishi Sunak 2 weeks ago announced to the world,
Yes.
House of Commons, that he wanted London to become the crypto center of the world.
Okay.
Which is a radical statement, bearing in mind the London regulators have been always very tough on
Exactly.
crypto.
Sure.
And right so, because over the years, it's like most new technologies, those that exploit new technologies the first are, the dodgy dudes of the world, as we all know.
Yes.
So people have traditionally associated blockchain with the dark web. In the same way, so many technologies have been exploited. Reality is blockchain is like any software system.
Yes.
Cryptocurrency is like any other currency or commodity.
Okay.
It's no different.
Yes.
It's got a bit more volatility to it, but governments around the world now are adopting cryptocurrency. And so Rishi Sunak announced a couple of weeks ago that he wanted the central banks to be adopting cryptocurrency. So we're going to see a lot of different changes. And I voice this in the light of the exchanges, because there are already exchanges. You can list your token. We can list our token on exchanges.
Okay.
But one has to be very careful how you structure the token so that it is done in a manner that benefits the member, the consumer.
Exactly.
And isn't seeking to benefit the company solely, because there have been a lot of instances of exploitation. And I don't think those worlds of exploitation that have prevalent in the early days of blockchain are any different than any other world. I mean,
Of course.
you can look across the world we live in and you'll find exploitation everywhere. So
well, exactly.
Blockchain's no different. The regulators are there to ensure that things are done optimally. And of course, we have no interest in doing anything other than creating a community, global community, which is benefiting from being integrated. So the timing is perfect, actually. I mean, we could not have found a better time to launch what we're doing.
Excellent.
Thank you, PayPal. Thank you, Rishi Sunak.
Exactly.
And thank you, Barry, because you give us a voice to the world. So,
well, very kind of you, and I appreciate that. But indeed, I guess the stars are aligning, as they say. Tell us, Simon, what's your bigger vision, let's say, for example, a year or two from now, with regard to healthcare and with regard to where you guys sit in the community, and what are the health issues and the care issues which can be addressed over the next few years by way of the ReMeLife program?
Well, it's a big irony in that, our principal mission is to get people to stop using technology. Now, that sounds very strange, but what I mean by that is the mission is to get people out, to get people to meet each other.
Okay.
Now, a few years ago, it broke my heart that my mother's lunch club was shut down because a local authority couldn't afford to support it.
Oh, okay.
Our dream would be that the token methodology I've just described would enable external support services to be rekindled. Starbucks, for example, my local Starbucks, is keen on having a dementia group there. Why? Because they can benefit financially, but they can engage with the community.
Yes, exactly.
The rewards mechanism that we've described would be a stimulator of that. So we feel that what we're building can connect the world. It can enable a man in Clacton to engage with another one in California, because they both have a lot of MGs.
Yes.
In a protected and secure environment.
Nice.
But that same man in Clacton will be advised of an MG event that is taking place 5 miles away in 3 or 4 weeks' time by our system.
Right.
And his family remotely around the country will be informed of that, because it's a connected system. And he will, with his family, he'll come down and visit, because that's a fun event, as opposed to a difficult time with the kids and granddad.
Exactly.
Everyone will gain. So he will be outdoors, he'll be with his family around a topic that's of interest to everyone. The MG event benefits the family, but everybody benefits. But that is through the power of technology to capture the data, the knowledge of what the man in Clacton loves.
Well,
And
precisely.
to impart the information to the right recipients.
Yes.
But I guess that's the vision. The vision
Okay.
is to be able to oil the wheels of increased human interaction and engagement,
Right.
external to the screen as much as using the screen.
Exactly. Making it real, as they say.
Making it real. I could have said that earlier on and made life a lot easier. Yeah.
Well, no. It's a brilliant program, and it's very helpful to get the more detailed explanation from you. So, Simon, we only have a few more minutes. To be honest with you, I'd love to talk to you for another hour and a half and also have a pint with you to hear a lot more about this, but I'm hoping we can do that sometime in the near future. As we're summarizing right now, help us to understand, Giant is a big global community of people working in healthcare providers, obviously, doctors, nurses, hospital managers, people working in government whose responsibility is the delivery of healthcare services across entire nations. And of course, we are very much a very large business community. We are startups and SMEs and big global corporates working in healthcare technology, hardware, services. And then on top of that, obviously, the big international healthcare investment community and healthcare advisors and management consultants and accountants and lawyers. Everybody whose business is health. What can people do to support you? Do you have any big asks right now? If there are people watching, and if we're, of course, working hard to promote this message over the next few months, what are some of the big asks for your business in summary?
Well, yes, we do have an ask. We're very fortunate now that we have major support. We're partners with Sharp, with Amazon. In the sort of blockchain world, we're partners with Consensus Health.
Nice.
We have a relationship with the government, a government think tank on COVID. We've got the partnerships, but it's one thing to have the partnerships, and it's another to have the support of a growing membership base. So bottom line for us is, as I said, we're launching. The fact that we're launching a Giant, but we do have a lot still to build. What we need is members. So sign up. Simply come to ReMeLife.com, take a look around, and become a member, and then watch as we launch our modules one after another, and grow with us and participate, because there is an opportunity on so many fronts. We want to do something sizable and global, and it's happening fast. So yeah, come and take a look and join us. Basically, that would be the big ask.
Perfect. Hey, well, look at Simon. This has been so very, very interesting, and we love what you're doing. You can consider us absolute champions and fans of your initiatives, and we're also proud about the ongoing commitment that you have to promoting healthcare and the roller coaster challenges that all of us as technology entrepreneurs have. So we really, really appreciate and admire your perseverance in the midst of the challenges of the pandemic and the world economic situation. So congratulations, obviously, on what you guys have accomplished. Very, very proud of what you're launching right now. And I hope that on behalf of all of our listeners from around the world, they have found this interesting. I certainly have found it interesting, and I've learned some new things today. So thank you very much, Simon, and good luck with everything. And certainly looking forward to developing our discussion with you.
Thank you, Barry. I'm looking forward to the world getting back to normal and you buying me that beer that I now have on record.
Did I promise that?
You did.
Perfect. Well, count on that. So thanks again. This has been Simon Hooper, who is the founder and CEO of ReMeLife, one of the world's most interesting new innovations, applying blockchain and networking and communication and token technology to the world of care. And it's also it's a consumer-facing proposition, but there's also, if I understand correctly, an extremely interesting B2B element to it. So huge opportunities for lots of people around the world to participate, to partner with Simon, and to engage. So we certainly welcome everybody listening in to contact Simon and to explore ways of collaborating successfully.
Looking forward to next week. Thank you, Barry.
Okay. Yep. Thank you very much, Simon. All the best.
Sure, yeah.